Mom didn't pay for one of the daughter's wedding. Was she right or wrong? Before we dive deep down into the story, if you like these types of stories and want us to create new ones for you, support us by subscribing to our channel. I 45 female am married to John 50 male. We have 2 daughters, one together, Hannah 25, and one from his previous relationship, Alexa 30. Alexa is older and always got everything new, and Hannah always got the hand-me-downs. She never had much of her own things, so I wanted to make her wedding special. Both of the girls have gotten engaged. I told Hannah I would pay for her wedding. I have been saving her whole life. Alexa asked John if he and her bio mom would be paying for her wedding, and he said no. He said she should have a wedding that her and her fiancé can afford. The girls went to get lunch the other day and Alexa found out I was paying for Hannah's wedding. Alexa called John crying that it's unfair I am paying for Hannah's wedding. John thinks we should split the money evenly between the 2 girls. I told him no because I was the one who had been saving the money. I told him if he'd like to pay for Alexa's wedding then he should speak with her mother for them to see how much they could help. John asked if I would be willing to give any money that is left from Hannah's wedding to Alexa. I told him no, I was giving Hannah the whole account and she could spend the money on what she wants. Some clarification on the post: when I got pregnant with Hannah, John asked me to be a stay-at-home mom. During that time John was in charge of all the finances. That is why Hannah always had hand-me-downs, because John said he wasn't going to buy her something new if we had something that worked. I started working when Hannah was 10 years old. At that time John and I decided he would split Alexa's costs with her mother and that we would split Hannah's costs. During that conversation I told John that I would be making a savings account for Hannah. At the time I said I hoped I could save enough money to pay for her wedding or a down payment on a house. Obviously not knowing how much I'd save. We didn't talk about it again because there wasn't a need to. Once I started working our finances were separate. Alexa's mom had full custody and we had her every other weekend. During those weekends John made all her parenting decisions. Update on the story Part 1, Hannah told her fiancé what had happened. Hannah's fiancé is an only child and his parents said they would pay for half the wedding. I told Hannah the money is still hers and she can use it for the other half and to use the leftover money towards a house. Her and her fiancé are very grateful. I told her that tomorrow I'd go talk to someone about getting the money in a trust of some kind in her name, since right now it's in a savings account with both of our names. Clarification on the update: I saw people asking about if I was contributing to the household once I started working, and yes I was. We agreed on an amount and I would transfer money to John for him to use towards the bills every month. I also did the grocery shopping. Update on the story Part 2, the money is officially transferred into only Hannah's name. My husband is also aware of this. Alexa, her fiancé, Alexa's mother, Hannah, her fiancé, my husband and I all talked last night. Alexa explained she felt pushed aside during the biggest day of her life so far and felt like she didn't have our support going into her new life. I explained that I was very sorry and never wanted her to feel that way, but that their father was not contributing to the money and that was money that I acquired after working. I also explained that if her mother had saved money for her I would never ask for some of the money for Hannah. Alexa then looked to her father and said he should be keeping things fair between the girls. Alexa's mother also spoke up saying John needed to handle this because it was not okay. Alexa's mother also said she would pay for the photographer and that John should at least pay for the venue. At this point I spoke up and said this seemed like it should be a discussion between John, Alexa, and her mother. I said I would be leaving and be back in an hour and asked Hannah and her fiancé if they'd like to come with me. The 3 of us went to get ice cream down the road.